This is really, really big. If you are covered by the European Accessibility Act, you're going to want to pay close attention to this demo. On the screen with me is the EAA app. This app is going to help simplify and make compliance as easy as possible. So let's go through this opening flow. We have the prompt, what type of economic operator are you? And we could choose between manufacturer, importer, distributor, and service provider. I've already got manufacturer selected, so we're going to leave that. And then next we can select our asset. I don't have one created, so I'm going to create one now. And I'm just going to name this kiosk. And then I'm going to select payment terminals as the category. And so I'm going to create an asset. And so now that I've got the asset created, what has happened is we get two checklists. One is an obligations checklist. And remember, obligations is for the administrative side of compliance. And then we have the technical requirements. And this is where we're concerned with the actually what we need to do for accessibility. So looking through the obligations checklist, we can see there are several checklist items, and then we have a broad explainer of what each item is. I'm going to click on the details for the second item. And so here we can see that we have the official EAA text, and this is where we have a direct excerpt from the directive. And then we have a plain English explanation what this means. And then we have a sub checklist of what we need to do. So we can check off these different boxes for this one checklist item. And then below this, we can add any notes. So I'm going to click to add a note, and we can, our team members that we can add to our account can add any notes. And then also there's a read-only view. So if you want to add someone to your account, but you don't want them to make any edits, then you can put them in read-only mode. We can also upload any compliance documents that are relative or are relevant for the checklist item. We can go ahead and choose a file and upload those compliance documents. And then we can even chat with the AI assistant inside of this singular item so that we can ask AI about for help with this item. So scrolling on down, we can just see there's this exhaustive checklist, and everything is organized for your team to streamline compliance and make this as easy as possible. But this is not all. So we're going to move now to documentation. So here we can organize all of our documentation. You saw that we could upload a document to any single checklist item. We can also upload directly to this documentation hub and have all of our documentation organized. And so here you can see there are different files for different economic operators. So we're not limited to just one role inside of the app. We can have multiple roles. So for example, we could be both a manufacturer and a distributor, and we just work from there. And so here we've got two total documents. You will have 1 GB of storage automatically as an account holder, and then you could add more if you'd like. But this is the documentation hub. There is also an EAA chat. And so this chat is for the directive more broadly. Here we're not focused on a singular checklist item, but just asking questions about the directive to AI. This is available inside of the app. And then we have a compliance component to this. So as we are working through the checklist and as we are completing items, what we can do is we can get a compliance score across our different assets, and then we can get an overall compliance score. So this is going to help with tracking progress and keeping track of what we've done and what remains. So here we have percentage scores for the overall compliance. We have percentage scores by the asset breakdown, and then we can even look at a category analysis. So continuing on, we have database. So why do we have database? Well, if we look to the directive, which I've tabbed to now, in Article 12, we have the requirement or the obligation, economic operators upon request shall identify to the market surveillance authorities the following. A, any economic operator who has supplied them with a product, and then B, any other economic operator to whom they have supplied a product. So if we go back to the database, here we have the ability to organize this right away. we can go to suppliers and then add suppliers. And then similarly, we can go to customers and add a customer. And then so you can see here, once I click add a customer, we get all of the information that we can add to and save this as a customer. So this is going to help you with organization. It's going to make this so much easier. And so this really is the app. And there are, within your account, you'll have the abilities to add team members. Again, you'll be able to put them into read-only mode or to where they can edit. You will be able to add additional storage. So for documentation, I've even accounted for videos. So if you'd like to add video, you can add larger storage and have that with your plan. And then you can add AI to your plan. So if your team is using this a lot and using the AI to help them specifically with EAA compliance, then you can potentially add AI. But we've already added in a lot of storage and a lot of AI interactions in the initial plan. But this is all here for you. This is about to be released right now. This is just the preview. I am finishing off everything. If you're interested, if you have any questions about features, feel free to definitely leave a comment on this video. And but this is coming very, very soon. It is very near completion. We're just putting on the finishing touches, but this is going to make compliance so much easier. And if you would like to go to the EAA app, as soon as I have this finished, I will include the URL in the description as well as in the comment section. So this is the EAA app, and this is going to make compliance so much easier.